Good morning. How are you today? Well, we're getting it's not yet spring rain. It's very light right now. It's lighter than it was a moment ago. The temperature's nice, but we're going to pay for these few spring days next week, so the weatherman says. I thought that last night Biden did what he had to do, and that he wanted to do, that he cared to do, that he thought to do, which is to tell the nation we're on course. We have objectives. May 1st, any adult's going to be able to get a vaccine. By the 4th of July, we may be able to have small gatherings, something to look forward to give us hope, to give us faith in the future. And so I think in that sense, he accomplished his goal. Meanwhile, he's going to continue, and his administration is going to continue to roll out the benefits of the stimulus package, historic stimulus package that they passed. In the meantime, Republicans say, you didn't need all of that. Really? Well, if we go and judge by what they did in the last administration, they started believing that nobody needed anything, wouldn't give them anything unless they could get something for their Wall Street friends. And in that context, keep in mind that I heard one Republican leader say that he referred to human capital. You see, listen to the language, human capital. It's like, food insecure. It's a word that doesn't have the full impact of what we're talking about. Human capital is labor. They can't say the word. That's why they can't be for a minimum wage. That's why they're not for the stimulus package, because they've excised not just whole belief systems, but humanity from their agenda. And that's why they have to try to stack the deck when it comes to an election. In terms of investigations, we see in D.C., they're looking at the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, and they're finding connections, and they're finding ways to look at that case as a conspiracy case. They haven't mentioned publicly, Stone and Bannon and those people, but they seem to be only a step away. And then down in Georgia, we got another tape got released. This is a tape in which Trump is on the phone with the investigator, basically doing the same thing with the investigator on a tape as he tried to do with the Secretary of State, the Georgia Secretary of State. So that's pretty interesting stuff. And to look at another investigation up in New York, Cyrus Vance has been prosecuting Trump up there. When I say prosecuting, he's been investigating. They managed to get the tax records. They gave a fabulous presentation to the Supreme Court to get those documents. And, I don't know that they need them or not, but they've got an expert on RICO. And I suppose all hands on deck. If that's what they think they need, that's fine. But my concern is that Vance is not running for re-election, and so he will not be in that post next January. And he may have decided to devote himself to this case as his crowning achievement in office. And you can imagine how hard a job like that is, and how hard it is right now. But, stepping away from your post is a real problem. And among the people that are running, I don't know, there's like 8 people. There are several who are not prosecutors who really think the office should be cut in half. And so you wonder what kind of vagaries we'll be exposed to by the result of that election if we don't get our act together on the Trump investigation / prosecution soon enough. But I think it's really nice to wake up and not feel we're going to war with Korea, or there's been some other lie, or somebody's been fired who is doing his or her job, that the Congress has been usurped or the courts have been attacked. It's nice to have a government that is trying to work with the other side and finds, some rays of sunshine where they can follow up. But mostly the Republican Party is occupied by a bunch of autocrats, extremists, who don't want to do anything for the public. And they think that history will take care of them. How in the midterm elections, the party in power loses force, and they're counting on that to get House seats and maybe control in the Senate. But I think what Biden is doing and what the people are going to be feeling on a day-to-day basis with these legislative enactments and these executive orders is a government that's serving them. And why should they change? And maybe they should add people who are not like Green, although she probably could be returned forever in Georgia. But they'll look for people that could serve the public interest and who could, quote, get along in the sense of they believe in a democracy to start with. And with that as a starting point, they can go on from there. But additional legislation that we need between now and the midterms and now and the presidential election, the only way that that can be dealt with is to get rid of the 60 vote rule. That has got to go. We can't have the filibuster. And if we have to do it for specific acts like preserving voters' rights, which is H.R. 1 that passed from the House to the Senate and can't be voted upon and passed into law if it has to be 60 votes. It needs a majority vote, and a majority vote is not presently allowed. So, you got to write those senators who are against the filibuster and encourage them to find a way. And that will be, another feather in our cap. We're making progress. We're working in a difficult situation. It's all encouraging. We just have to keep up the good work. So all the best. Have a good day. Get out on maybe the last spring day for several days. Bye-bye.